Today I fucked up by getting a COVID test. This happened literally 2 hours ago. I had a high-risk contact with someone who tested positive for COVID a couple days ago, so I needed to get tested to see if I had the virus or not. It was my first test ever. I didn't know what to expect other than someone poking with a stick in my nose. I heard from people it could hurt a little, and since I have a high pain tolerance, I thought it would just feel as a minor inconvenience. Oh boy, was I wrong. I sat on this plastic chair and for some reason I had my hands between my legs. When the doctor put this stick in my nose, it hurt so much I grabbed onto the chair. It felt like she was poking my brain or something. Because I was so overwhelmed of the pain, I squeezed the edge of that chair so hard, like when you squeeze someone's hand when you're in pain, that I accidentally snapped a part of the chair. Snapping the chair scared the shit out of me that I moved my head, while the stick was still in my nose. That made it even more hurt. That doctor was also looking at me like, damn, WTF did you just do? He was startled. When she got the stick out of my nose, I looked at my hand and I saw I cut myself to the chair. It wasn't a deep cut, so I covered it up in some paper towel and excused myself a million times to the doctor for breaking her chair. She found it kinda funny, I guess. Chair wasn't worth a penny, that's why it broke so easily, that they didn't really mind. This situation just took 10 seconds, so everything was going so fast. But JFC, my head hurts a lot now because of that stick that poke almost in my brain. My hand is fine though. TL, doctor, I broke a chair and cut my hand while getting a corona test. Edit, indeed. Double fuck up because I didn't wait long enough, so I have to undergo this experience twice. Edit 2, in my country you can't get tested just because you want it. You need a genuine reason. We had a shortage of tests a couple months ago, so only essential workers and people who were nearly dying could be tested. Now everyone with symptoms or who risk contacts can be tested. It's not like Luxembourg, for example, where everyone get every couple weeks a letter from the government that it is time to get tested again. We need a reason. Edit 3, I tested negative. And just for your information, I didn't break any of the rules in my country. We are allowed to have one contact we can cuddle and don't have to be 6 feet away from. My cuddle buddy works in a psychiatric facility. She got COVID from one of the patients there. No one broke rules. No one is an asshole here. When I was taught how to do those tests, my instructor literally said that if the patient isn't squirming and acting uncomfortable, it's probably not in far enough. They do have to go very far in. There's a line on the ones we use that has to go to all the way to the nostril. It's not very comfortable. Sorry about that, everyone. FYI, you're supposed to get tested 5 to 7 days after contact. If you get tested before incubation period, it gives false negatives. Yeah, you think you have a high pain tolerance. You don't. Is it really supposed to hurt? I've had 3 and it never hurt. First one I got felt uncomfortable but not really painful. I just close my eyes and wait for it to be over. I guess you just could be different, or maybe the doctor was more aggressive than usual. After that experience, I'd be inclined to try a different test facility if one is available. Unfortunately, you should get another test, as others have noted, as you didn't wait long enough. I've gotten 2 and both were perfectly fine. It was uncomfortable for sure, but my eyes barely watered. My sister got them done right after me and bawled her eyes out from the pain. I think it must have something to do with your nasal passage. The huge bummer here is that it's totally pointless to get tested 2 days after exposure. Of course it will be neg. You experienced that for no reason and now should get tested a week to 10 days after possible exposure. Winking face. Today I fucked up by ripping ass when I thought no one was around. Earlier today I went for a run. I got about 15 minutes in and felt some tummy rumbles. I'll start by saying that I did not shit myself on this run, but I had to fart. No biggie. I'm a rather gassy individual, so whatever. I stop a moment to let it go and hold up. A drip of pee is coming out the front. What the hell? I have to abort mission. I have very rarely had this occur before. but I was not expecting this when just trying to pass gas. Okay, it was just a drop of pee and my body puckered up so tight all was fine. I continue and get about another 5 minutes in when my need to pass gas comes back. Not even thinking about it, I stop a moment and hold up. It happened again. I am in shock. Do I really not have enough bladder control that pushing out a damn fart demands a diaper? I am not old enough for this. Forget it. I will not allow this. My ass is just going to have to wait. The naive fool I am. Another 10 minutes and I'm going a little slower, feeling some cramps. I end up so uncomfortable I just have to let it go. I stop. Legit take my hand and hold my front, then rip the loudest cartoon sounding fart you can imagine. I look up and there is a couple putting up Christmas lights, but now they are staring at me. I'm mortified. They're deciding whether to acknowledge it. But wait. It gets better. Hetto hell with your username. You okay? Are you hurt? No, no, no. No, no. There's no way you know me. I'm not that close to home and I don't know anyone in this neighborhood. There's no way someone I know just saw me grabbing myself and contortioning around to bust cartoon ass. Yes folks, it was my kid's coach. Someone I know and see frequently, but not well enough for this to be funny. I'm horrified. I just bent over and act very winded. Stood up and said phew, sprint work is no joke. I don't know what they actually saw or heard, but I'm skipping the rest of the season. Edit 1, thanks for the awards. Edit 2, clarified above that it was a drop of pee as some people thought I meant diarrhea. Too long didn't read, out for a run and had to hold myself so I could fart without pee escaping. Ended up grabbing myself and ripping ass in front of a couple, only to find out it's my kid's coach. I was working night stock in a grocery store one night and ripped a nasty silent but deadly fart on the other end. I was working. My supervisor walked down the aisle right into my cloud of stench and asked, "Do you smell sewer gas?" One of my prouder moments. Lol. May need to check the floor drains, boss. Last year I unintentionally let one rip right into my cat's face. I hadn't heard her jump up behind me right as I let loose, but I distinctly remember this sound of feline disgust. I turn around and she's standing there with her mouth hanging open and giving me a look that unmistakably says, "Dude, what the fuck?" I still feel so sorry for her. My cat sleeps under the covers behind my knees. I'm damn sure the poor thing finds herself marinating in a gas cloud on a nightly basis. Doesn't seem to deter her though. If I had $1 for every time I've broken the sound barrier without realizing that somebody was in the danger zone, I'd be able to book a trip to Hawaii. One of the most memorable was when I was in my office and dropped a silent one and moment later my admin walked in to review some paperwork. She looks at me and said, "I'm just going to leave these here for you," and made a hasty retreat. I'll be alone in my office for 4 hours. The second I let a smelly out, someone enters. It's a rule of the universe or something. My husband works in Midtown Manhattan and was walking near Grand Central on the way to work during rush hour with headphones in playing loud music when he suddenly had to pass gas very badly and felt he couldn't hold it in. He totally forgot that just because he couldn't hear others around him due to his loud music, that they could all still hear him. So, he ripped a huge loud fart when stopped at a corner while he was standing in a large group to cross the street. He said everyone started looking at him and it just hit him that everyone had heard him fart and he was mortified. I was so embarrassed when he told me that story and I wasn't even with him. You definitely were winded alright. Well, technically, it's them that you winded. Oh god, the truth in that statement. It hurts to remember. Today I fucked up by trying to go to bed. This just happened about 20 minutes ago. So I'm crawling in bed getting my blanket all situated and stuff. I'm one of those people who like to have the blanket under my feet too, you know, like a comfy sleeping bag without the zipper. So I've got this routine how I do it. Crawl under my blanket, lay on my back and lift both my legs in a V shape so my legs aren't all bound up. Well, when I did that I forgot I tossed a big Febreze bottle on my bed earlier and it got wrapped up in the blanket, so when I did the V it just fucking shot the bottle, while under the blanket, mind you, right into my nuts. It hit so fucking hard I was coughing for like 10 minutes. And I'm in my boxers, okay, so like, there was no padding for that impact at all. Now I'm awake, so I guess I'll keep playing Cyberpunk. Too long didn't read. I rocket propelled a Febreze bottle into my nuts using my blanket. Now I'm a cyborg. I don't even have testicles, but they just ran away. How's the game though, should I get it? It's got a few bugs, but honestly I can't stop playing it despite the fact I'm on PC and all I've got is a cool spots where I drop some FPS for a couple seconds and sometimes no mouth movement in cutscenes. Oh nuts. I can't wait until someone gives this a wholesome award. At least your nuts will smell fresh.